Das sieht gut aus.
Komische.
So,
Ich möchte nur, dass die Kleinkinder. Aber es geht nicht so direkt vor der Kamera, sonst können wir gleich Hanna nicht aufnehmen. Hanna hat einen Fehler gemacht. Hanna hat es ihrer Mama erzählt in Amerika. Und die Mama ist so aufgewühlt gewesen, dass sie natürlich das publik gemacht hat, dass das heute live übertragen wird. Das heißt, wir haben ganz viele Menschen ganz weit weg, die aber zeitgleich
ist jetzt an, genau, es läuft schon.
sogar mitbekommen. Also was für eine Emotion für Hanna, die da gerade
Eigentlich.
da ist mal richtig Leistung angesagt.
Finger abhauen lassen, glaube ich.
Ich hoffe, sie verliest sich nicht. Ne? Der Druck soll sich mal ruhig erhöhen. Ich habe da kein Problem mit. So, ich wünsche erstmal viel Spaß auf dieser Seite.
Alle schön vor die Kamera. Das ist auch da.
Geh mal rein.
Achtung, mega.
Guck mal, weil es nicht aufgeht. Oder?
Ah, du bist Meere, du bist
Läuft schon.
Hi everybody, here I am, Hanna Banana, and I see you. So, folks, this may be your first English lesson for 2013, or perhaps your last lesson for 2013. The kleine Alina is there. Let's go. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas. The whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. He stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted window below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew all the Who girls and boys would... Yeah, here's the picture. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise! The noise. Oh, that's one thing he hated, was the noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to eat. Oh, and they would eat, and eat, and eat. And they would eat on Who pudding, or rare, very strange, Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and they would start singing. Oh, and they would sing and sing. Oh, and the Grinch thought of this. Oh, this Christmas song. The more the Grinch thought, I must stop the whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? Then he had an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. He made a big Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled. This is a Grinch trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but there were no reindeer to be found. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and he put some red thread over his head with a big horn on the top of his head. His dog was the reindeer. Then he loaded some old empty sacks on an old sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. And then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down for the homes where the Who's were sleeping in the town. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were out dreaming sweet dreams with their flame. Then he found the first house. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney. It was a little bit tight, but he walked on down where the little Who's had stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slunk to the fridge. He shrank, and he took the Who's food. He took the Who's pudding. He took the roast beast. And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like a coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. And the Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. And she stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know, old Grinch was very, very smart, and he thought up a lie and said, "Why, my sweet little girl." He wasn't the real Santa Claus. He lied. "There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here." It worked. Cindy Lou Who went back to bed with her cup, and he went to the chimney and took the tree up. And the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses. All the Who's still in bed, all of them sleeping, when he packed his sled. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top. You see people who know. Hoo-hoo to the Who's. He was grinching, humming, "They'll find out tomorrow that Christmas is not coming." Oh yes, That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And did he hear sound rising over the snow? It started low, and it started to grow. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came somehow or other. It came just the same. And the The Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself cut the roast beast. Here. And before we go, there's something I have to say. I have many homes. This is one home. I love this home, but I have something to say to a couple of people who are not here today. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents by the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light grows. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Merry Christmas.
Nee? Wir hören dich nicht.
Man möchte mich nicht hören, ne? Oder doch? Ich weiß es nicht. Auch Michael, bist du lieb zu mir? Ich darf auch mal hier sitzen. Ich sitze ja nie, ne? Ist Ihnen ja schon mal aufgefallen? Nie sitze ich, ne? Jetzt habe ich auch noch so ein altes Gerät in der Hand. Das muss ich auch noch bedienen nebenbei. Ich weiß auch nicht. Also, naja, aber ich genieße das trotzdem ein bisschen mit hier alles. So, wir fangen in, ich würde sagen, 2 Minuten auf der von mir aus gesehen rechten Seite, ne, beginnen wir. Wir bringen mal die Kamera dorthin und ich bringe mich auch dorthin. Und hallo Andi, schön, dass du auch da bist und alle Achse. Schmeckt es? Hör mal, wehe nicht, ne? Kein Stress geht zu Hause. So, ich werde dazu quatschen. Viel Spaß. Peppers sind, ja, ich glaube, sind auch schon jetzt aufgeregt. Bis gleich.
Verschont geblieben von Mini, super. Ja, ja, normalerweise.
Mal hochnehmen das Ganze. Und gucken, wie man das kippen kann. Das kann auch angehen.